Hey everyone, I wanted to talk about 8 steps that I use to grow my self-confidence. Self-confidence is not something that people are born with. It's something that has to be grown and developed. These 8 steps are the ones that I personally use, and they've made me into a more confident person. They've helped me become better at presentations and better at communicating with other people. If you want to learn how you can become more confident yourself, follow these 8 steps. Step number 1, define your self-image. When I say self-image, I'm not referring to how other people see you. I'm referring to your true thoughts and desires. You need to become an honest person both with yourself and with others. A lot of us lack confidence because we are lying to ourselves, trying to live a life that we don't really want, or we lie to others by telling them that we are living a life that we aren't really living. Stop lying to yourself. If you want to become more confident, tell others the truth about how you feel and what your desires actually are. Of course, this will take some soul searching, some feelings and desires we don't want to pursue. So choose carefully which ones you value and which ones you don't. Step number 2, do what you say what you do. Now that you have defined your self-image, it's time to act. Choose actions that align with your self-image and make them happen. If you say you're going to clean today, actually clean. If you say that you're going to volunteer next weekend, be sure to actually show up and volunteer. Doing what you say and saying what you do is all about keeping a unified image of ourselves in all circumstances. When we say something that we don't deliver on or do something that we wouldn't say to others, we are fragmenting our identities into multiple parts. It's hard to be confident when we become our own worst enemy and do and say things contrary to our identity. Doing what we say does not mean that we always have to say yes to good things. We need to learn to prioritize. If someone asks us to be a volunteer for an event, we shouldn't feel pressured to say yes because it's a good thing. It's okay to say no. Say, I acknowledge that volunteering is good, but it doesn't align with my current priorities. Step number 3, find confidence in intentions, not outcomes. We are always tempted to measure our self-worth in terms of outcomes and traits. Many of us become demotivated or scared because we see ourselves as not as good when compared to others. We have to recognize that those who are confident are not those who are best at what they do, but they do have the intention of becoming better. Some amazing musicians have stage fright, for example, while others may be at a lower level but play with confidence. This is because confidence doesn't come from our level of ability or the results we achieve. Rather, it's from our dedication to our intentions. As an example, finding confidence in my intentions helped me to learn a second language. I was living in a foreign country and had no clue how to speak the language. At first, I was nervous and shy. I didn't really understand what other people were saying, and I was afraid to ask questions because I knew I wouldn't understand. After a few months, I learned to become confident in my intentions. Little by little, I started asking people questions. I would get a few different responses and have to ask what they meant in English from a friend. Eventually, I started to pick up the language and become more confident. Not in my ability to speak the language, but my intention to learn the language, to understand the people and the culture I was in. When I asked a question confidently, people could tell that I didn't know the language fluently, but they could also tell that I had the intention of learning. If we trust our intentions, the results will always follow. Step number 4, visualize. You may have heard of this step before. Athletes often use this step to help them train and prepare for competitions. There's a reason that it's on my list. It's an effective tool in building our confidence. Visualization involves seeing yourself where you want to be in the future. It asks, what do you want to achieve? Once we know where we want to be, we can plan out the path to get there. This means setting goals and plans to reach those goals. But most importantly, when we visualize, we know that we can achieve our goals, and because we know, we start to feel that we are becoming a new type of person. take a minute right now to make a list of your goals, and after this video, make plans on how you can reach each one of them. Step number 5, celebrate reaching your lead measures. You might be asking, what do I mean by lead measures? It's simple. There are 2 types of measures that we use when trying to reach a goal: lead measures and lag measures. Let's start with the goal. One goal might be to lose weight. Our lag measure could be, I want to be under a certain weight. Ultimately, we are unable to achieve our lag measure by just thinking about it. There's nothing that we can do. That's why we need lead measures. These are the actions that we can actually change. One lead measure that we might actually take is to exercise once every day. A second lead measure could be to eat under a certain number of calories. These lead measures can actually be changed by us every day. Most of us set goals and only half-heartedly create and follow lead measures. If we want to build our confidence, we need to celebrate when we consistently achieve our lead measures and not when we get to our lag measure, which we can't change anyway. When we achieve our lead measures, we should celebrate our victory and take confidence in the journey. Realize that most people who give up early fail to understand this one concept. There's a popular quote that goes, when performance is measured, performance improves. Notice how it says performance, not results. Step number 6, be your biggest cheerleader. When you find that you've successfully achieved a lead indicator, cheer yourself on. No one knows just what you've accomplished except for yourself. The benefit of setting goals is that you now have a way to measure when you have improved. Without goals, you miss the enjoyment of achieving something new. You miss out on the perspective. After all, sometimes you have to look down the mountain to see just how far you've climbed. This step is a lot of fun. Celebrate your victory and share what you've achieved with a close friend, family member, or even in your diary. Being your own biggest cheerleader is a great way to build confidence. Step number 7, teach someone a skill. This one is for all of us who tend to stress out by overthinking or getting nervous. The idea here is to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. We tend to overthink how others will see us when we don't understand something or feel that we aren't good enough. Sometimes it's just because we're uncomfortable with being in that certain situation itself. The idea with this step is to get comfortable in an uncomfortable situation by coming at it from another side. Instead of being the person who feels inadequate or scared, we are the person who is in control and confident. We learn to see the situation from the other person's perspective. Practice teaching someone a skill by first identifying something that you're good at. It doesn't have to be anything crazy difficult, just something that's unique to you. Now find someone that you're comfortable being around, a friend or family member. Teach them about your chosen skill and observe how you feel. You'll notice that you aren't always judging them. Rather, you feel that you want to help them learn this new skill for themselves. Repeat this step many times with family and friends. Eventually, you can teach someone who you don't even know very well. Or maybe even switch roles and ask a friend to teach you one of their skills. The idea behind this step is to make you comfortable in situations where you might be tempted to feel inadequate. Now, when you are in a situation that makes you feel nervous and start overthinking, remember how you felt when you were in control. Recognize that as long as you're giving it your best, others aren't judging you and may even want to help you. Becoming confident in uncomfortable situations means you're trying your best, not that you are the best. Step number 8, ask for help. This step is tying all the other steps together. Confident people ask for help. I know this because no one knows or is good at everything. Confident people learn to ask for help whether they think they need it or not. When we ask for help, we are acknowledging that we are more powerful in groups than as individuals. Even if we are really good or knowledgeable in a certain area, we acknowledge that we could learn more and become better from the added input of others. Asking for help is realizing that the way in which we grow better is through helping each other, not putting down each other. If you like this video and want to learn more tips for improving yourself, subscribe now. Thanks for watching and check out some of my other videos.